Hi, everybody. I'm Miriam Siegel from the Center for Mastery and Excellence. Are you one of those people who believes that you have to clear all of your trauma in order to have a good life, in order to feel good? Well, what if I said that that's a myth? And what if you're actually hardwired to focus on pain instead of on gain? Because that can be the case if your belief is that you have to clear your trauma. Because what generally happens is you focus on where your pain is to try and get rid of it. And the alternative is to focus on where the gain is, where the fun is, where the joy is, and create more of that. So I was actually really curious about this particular thing. I was most curious about how I could help my clients more, how they could get more out of their sessions with me. And so I did my second master's degree on that. It was a master's degree in clinical, I always have to stop when I'm going to say this, clinical mental health counseling, clinical mental health care. That's what it was. And one of the things that came up in my research was that some people seem to be hardwired to be motivated by gain, and some people seem to be motivated by pain. And it will either be that they have to focus on their pain, or they focus on their pain and they keep themselves safe, or they focus on their pain in the way that, what if I don't get what I want? What if I can't do this? What if this never happens? So there's still a pain element in that, instead of how can I make this happen? I want this. How can I create this, for example? So it may very well be that for some people, if you don't have a lot of trauma that is influencing your life, it may be that clearing the one trauma or the 2, 3 traumas, then you have a clear path in front of you and you can focus on creating what you want and you make that happen, you manifest that. But for a lot of us who have more than that, or people who have a lot of bad experience over a long time, will tend to focus on pain and believe that that's the way to go. So remembering and reliving painful experiences may actually be distracting you from having good experiences. Because really in life, we have good experiences and we have not so good experiences. And it's not like every day, constantly, every second of every day, something is happening to cause you pain. Because if you're sitting alone in a room and you're just alone in a room and nobody's attacking you, nobody's hurting you, nothing is going on, the walls are not crashing, the ceiling's not crashing down, whatever it is, there's a possibility there for you to experience something other than pain. Perhaps there's a bird singing, a child laughing, whatever it is, you love the color on your wall, plant is blooming, whatever it is, there's an opportunity for some experience of pleasure. So the idea is, if you have a choice between focusing on what hurts and focusing on what gives you joy, or what awakens joy in you, what is it that has you focusing on the pain? And again, do you believe that that's going to get you somewhere? Like, if I focus on this and I work on this and I release this, then I'll feel better. What if you don't? What if you can experience the joy, focus on the joy, create and move and live in the joy, and the pain becomes less important? It falls away on its own because it's not your path. Because you constantly make choices that move you towards joy. So I'm not talking about escaping. I'm not talking about denying. I'm not talking about pretending. I'm talking about where you acknowledge that things have happened that have been painful for you. They have happened. They were painful. Maybe you felt powerless. Maybe you felt shame. Maybe you felt overwhelmed, frightened, angry, whatever it was. Maybe it was really, really, really hard. It seemed to be more than you can handle. Well, yeah, respect that. Pay attention to that. Acknowledge that that is the way it was, and accept that that did happen. Because we're not talking about pretending. It did happen, and that's kind of the point. It did happen, but it's not happening now. You can be remembering it, recalling it, bringing it up again, and living and experiencing as if it's happening, but it's not happening. If you're sitting alone in a room or you're sitting talking to someone, it's not happening to you right now. It happened. So what can you create now? Acknowledging that that did happen and that it's over. It's over. What do you bring into your life now? What do you want to create in your life now? How do you want to live your life now? You have the opportunity to do like me, and that is to spend years and years and years on the therapy couch, right? And I'm not making light of that situation. I have got a lot of help. And as a licensed psychotherapist, I am required to do some sort of therapy or supervision, that sort of thing. But we can spend years rehashing and reliving and even re-traumatizing ourselves, going into what happened and believing that by going into what happened, we are reframing or releasing what happened, when often we're reliving and reliving. And the more we tell it, the more we reinforce it, the more we recreate it. I'm not saying that we don't release it. I'm not saying that we don't let it go, that we don't reframe it. I'm saying that it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. So, and I have lots of experience where things took a lot of time, and lots of experience where things went right in a second or in a few minutes, where I just let it go. It wasn't getting me anywhere. It wasn't serving my life purpose for me to be focusing on and reliving and replaying and ruminating over all these things that had happened to me. And even flashbacks, when I'd had flashbacks, I could just go, oh, it's a flashback, and let it go, not keep it alive, believing that that's what's going to help. There's that sort of popular saying, I'm not exactly sure the exact wording of it, but that sort of thing, what you focus on, you create more of, that idea. And that can absolutely be the case. If my focus, my energy, my intention, my attention is going towards pain, that is what I'm experiencing, pain. And I will keep experiencing that pain as I focus on it and bring it up again and ruminate over it and keep talking about it, looking for a solution, looking for relief from the pain that I am creating for myself, rather than what else is there? If I don't have to be here, if I don't want to be in this pain all the time, what else can I create? And how do I do that? How can I create that? So the opportunity to not spend years and years and years on the therapy couch is available. It's possible. And it's learning some techniques, maybe being guided through a few things where you learn that you can just let things go, and you envision and you start building and creating what you want, what brings you joy, what lights you afire, what gives you vitality, feeling alive, and knowing that life is for you, not against you, for you, not against you. So I have a question for you. And I'll be the first one to admit, I have been guilty of this. If I'm going to use that word, I've been guilty of this. Do you discount your wins? So, do you discount your wins because they're not big enough? Or because they're not the ones you were focusing on? The ones that you thought were most important? Do you ignore them? Do you make small of them? Do you discount them? And even to the point where somebody may give you a compliment or congratulate you, and you go, oh, it was nothing. It was nothing. Do you do that? Because what if those are actually opportunities for you to experience joy, to be pleased with your life, to feel the good, because they're wins, people. It doesn't matter if they're huge or if they're small, minute things, they're still wins. So why would you want to ignore them? Why would you want to make small of them? Why would you want to create a feeling of drabness and pain in your life by ignoring the good stuff that you're actually doing, by making small of those wins? The invitation is, and even things that maybe didn't exactly go your way, but they still went well in some way. Yay, people! They went well in some way. Isn't that great? Like, it's okay to look at stuff that didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to. That's okay. We can learn about that. But do you like stay there and go round and dig it and bring it up and beat yourself up about it and just completely ignore, yeah, but this was good. This was a win. I got this far. I got this far. Why would you spend most of your time on the painful stuff rather than on the joyful stuff? Here is an opportunity for you to start focusing on and appreciating and enjoying the wins. We talk about don't sweat the small stuff. How about don't ignore the small stuff and celebrate the good stuff, no matter how small? So judging the good stuff, making light of the good stuff, how's that working for you? I mean, please. They're wins. Enjoy your wins. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate yourself. And you might find that those painful situations, even the traumatic situations, become less interesting, become less important, and start to fall away all on their own. They're not your life. They're not creating your life. They happened, and you have the opportunity to build on the wins. Learn, absolutely, and build on the wins. Appreciate your wins and yourself for what you've done, what you've achieved, and what you've learned. So let's get you moving from losses to wins, from suffering to flourishing, and from surviving to thriving. And if you want help with this, you want to do more of this, and you want to know how to make this work for you, let's chat. You can find me at the Center for Mastery and Excellence, or CentrumX. Let's have a chat. Let's see what we can get working for you.